Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And last night, I went to an area that I had never been before in the area where I live. It's a bit on the outer skirts. It's about a 42-minute drive from where I'm located. For those of you who are familiar with the area, it's called Cattleman's Steakhouse. Pretty good steakhouse. And service was rough for T-Mobile in that area, right? If you can see what you're seeing on screen now, it says 3G on the top, right? We all know T-Mobile no longer operates 3G. So what was I connecting to? I was connecting to Telcel. I was connecting to a Mexican carrier on this side of the border and quite a bit away from the border. So I felt that was interesting, right? The area was already no service roughly. So I was briefly connected to Starlink, or otherwise known as T-Satellite now. But that didn't really go over too well as soon as we went indoors, because it was a restaurant. So went indoors. Every now and then I got a glimpse of LTE from T-Mobile, and it did work for a bit. But it was kind of going back and forth. SOS, no service. It wasn't connecting to T-Satellite, of course. We were indoors. But then I started connecting to Telcel. I was like, wow, that's crazy, right? That was like some sort of roaming. I don't know. I don't think that's supposed to be that way, but I guess every now and then it does leak into the US when the phone is searching for service. So I just wanted to point that out. As you can see, it was a bit more rural. I mean, out that way, there was really nothing going on the road to the steakhouse. It was just cactus, sand, and desert. Verizon did have a cell site behind the steakhouse. I did see that driving up to it. But again, these are just some of the scenarios that I point out, right? Where T-Mobile can do better, right? You got to call it out. You can't just say everything is sweet and it's good, right? You have to also be critical, right? And T-Mobile should be perfectly fine with constructive criticism. If the service is not good there, then it needs to be fixed, right? Because they are claiming to be the best network, right? They're claiming that now excessively, extensively, right? You saw it on the consumer side, and just recently now they're bringing that to the business side. You saw for those of you who saw my video, Super Mobile Plan. I mean, that's all about delivering the best network with the slicing and T-Satellite and everything mixed into it, right? So it's interesting, right? It's something that T-Mobile can fix. They can co-locate on that Verizon tower that's behind the steakhouse. And maybe that's already in the works. I don't track permits that far out. Even though it's a part of the county, I don't know how to look into the into the permits all the way out in Fabens, right? It's not too far. It's about, like I said, it's about a 40-minute drive from where I'm located, but it's very rural in that area, I would say. And that was definitely a bad point, right? I mean, I don't go there often. I've never been there since I've been here. So that's about 22 years. That was my first time going there, right? But if I were to frequent that area a bit frequently, I would definitely point that out to T-Mobile, like, hey, I had no service there. And I might still do that. I might reach out to a care rep and say, hey, I had no service there last night. Are you guys planning to add anything, right? Like I said, they should take the constructive criticism. If they already know it's bad and they haven't done anything, I mean, that's on them. But there's always room for improvement, and this area is clearly room for improvement, right? I will say everybody at the table last night had T-Mobile. Everybody, it was about 25 people. I think like 22 of them had T-Mobile. The rest had Verizon's, right? And it worked for them. They had 5 bars. C-band was there. I mean, their phones were flying, and everybody on the indoors that had T-Mobile was struggling, right? So that can leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. But like I said, that area isn't frequented much by the people at the table, so they didn't mind, right? They were there to talk anyway and not be on the phones much. But still, this is definitely an area that has lots of room for improvement for T-Mobile. And maybe it's a part of the 3,000 new site builds before the year's out. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've seen anything like that where you're roaming on a Mexican carrier. in the U.S. on this side of the border. Let us know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.